Hi, it's Marguerite Brigham, aka Magical Marguerite, and I think I'm going to change it to Magical Marguerite Goddess Grandma. I just tried to do a teleseminar, and the reason I didn't want to do this on the phone or video or like I have my onesie on here, and I was going to tell a really hard story and didn't want to do it face to face. I wanted to do it like a phone call. But it didn't get recorded because, using new software again. And it should have been, anyways, new software. So it didn't record. And the people who were listed, there was like 11 people that showed up, and they didn't even get to hear it. So nobody got to hear it. So here I am. And what am I doing here? I am speaking to women and congratulating women for the global Sisterhood this past weekend of the Saturday the 21st. So maybe if I just read you my email that I sent to my group. Okay. Okay. Like, how's that? I don't know. I'm just so raw. Hey, my magical friends, I wonder how many of you participated this weekend in the many sister marches across the world. I would have loved to, hang on a sec, but so my way to help keep the spark alive is to offer a teleseminar. I've seen the power of influence women can have, and one shocking time was a negative way when the book 50 Shades of Grey came out. I will address that on the talk this week. About it being a wake-up call for me, the damage women emulated to the young girls at that time, compared to the positive message of strength and unity with sister solidarity now in 2017. The time has come for me to share fully, deeply, and truthfully about the shame that sits in my core, recognizing that until I do, I'm not showing up fully and giving my best service. It was hard to share the video I made, Releasing Judgment, the lessons from working in a love shop, and the shame that came from working there. However, the first big wound for me around shame was when I was date raped at 15. And I found out the week of my 16th birthday. Through a long process of first initially wanting to have an abortion, to finally keeping my daughter, the shame surrounding so many areas of my pregnancy and the first few years of having a baby was an immersion of pain. It can still bring me to tears how badly I was treated. And you can tell I've been crying all day. That's why I didn't want to do this live like this. Then, of course, came the next shame of not finishing high school, being labeled a loser, dumb, or stupid. Most of this was internal self-talk. It wasn't until I went back to school when I was in my mid-30s did I realize that I actually am intelligent. So this dance of coming out and then hiding my light must stop. How easily manipulated I am, with shame sitting at my core. And this was glaringly apparent as well by T, my last employer. And I'm ready to share that story of why I quit as well. How can we be fully empowered to take this wildfire and keep the flame alive? I will share how important it is that the spark of sisterhood and the fire that happened on the weekend keeps growing. For me, I've had to become my own best friend over the years and to keep picking myself up by the bootstraps to go forward to bring the message of the goddess forth, to be her hands and her voice for so many years. It has made me tired, But now I'm infused with hope again, seeing the sisters united across the globe. Something good is coming out of Trump being in the White House. A rebirth has been occurring slowly. Now is a time of global solidarity. It is more important than ever to join our sisters, fan the spark of love, and immerse ourselves in magic. And that is for the children. So, then the next email was on women's wounds and wisdom. So it just happens for you, perhaps, especially if you have been sent this by a friend, that I am going to also let you know about a program that's coming up. And this is a new creation from an old foundation. And it was part of when I talked about the 50 Shades of Grey and working in the love shop, the sex store. That was like 2011, 2012. So at the time, that was really hard to do, and the videos, on my page, I have a lot of videos of my travels. They're mostly for my granddaughter, and if I speak to you like you're like my granddaughter, then I'll have a little bit more courage to do this like face to face. So, yes, there's a program that got created from working in the love store, and a lot of it was the witch wound and what our foremothers went through, and perhaps we are at the same time coming back as those witches that were burned. And that's what I've been working on for quite a few years, bringing out the awakened magic. It's the death, right? And so I'm grateful to Trump that I've got to turn in towards my wounds at a deeper level, even because the shame and what sits under that, and it, the energy that gets projected out from me is the abandonment, as well as the the invisible wound right at my core. But a lot of the abandonment, it's not only society, like my dad wouldn't talk to me when he found out I was pregnant for like 6 months, to I guess my daughter was about 3 months old. Didn't even come to the hospital. I was in there for Christmas, and wouldn't even be on the same floor as me. So that abandonment, and the abandonment from society, and carrying that wound forward. And so to see the celebration, to see, and really it wasn't celebration, but it's a celebration in my mind, because I've been bringing forth the goddess energy since 1995, and it was a visit from Mother Mary. And so I, to learn more about the goddess energy, started Goddess Yoga in 1999. And I was actually, I've been known like online from 2009 to really 2015 as Golf Goddess, and that's from my book. You can see it, How to Become a Golf Goddess. So that's a combination of yoga for golf and my goddess yoga. So, my standing in solidarity with the sisters is really two things. And that is from the right for women to have legal and safe abortions, and the inequality. I don't know if I'm going to have time, if I can like film all this. So there's a great piece really on Facebook, and I shared it on the the call, and it was from a reply from something that was going around saying from the younger girls saying that well, let me just get a piece of it and just have faith that maybe I'll just have to go Facebook Live with this. I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Because you're not equal. Man. Even if you feel like you're equal, let me turn the light on here. Oh, wrong light. You still make less than a man for doing the same work. You make less than a CEO, as an athlete, as an actress, as a doctor. You make less than government in the tech industry and healthcare. You still don't have full rights over your own body. Men are still debating over your uterus, over your prenatal care, over your choices. You still have to pay taxes for your basic sanitary needs. You still have to carry mace when walking alone at night. You still have to prove to the court why you were drunk on the night you were raped. You still have to justify your behavior when a man forces himself on you. You still don't have paid or even unpaid maternity leave. You still have to go back to work while your body is broken, while you silently suffer from postpartum depression. So, I had no idea, like in Canada, women get a year maternity leave, and I think even the husbands get like 3 months or something. You still have to fight to breastfeed in public. You still have to prove to other women it's your right to do so. You still offend others with your breasts. You're still objectified. You still are catcalled. You're still sexualized. You're still told you're too skinny or you're too fat. You're still told you're too old, too young. You're applauded when you age gracefully. You're still told men age better. You're still told to dress like a lady. You're still judged on the outfit instead of what's in your head. Your brand of bag you carry is still matters more than your college degree. You're still being abused by your husbands, by your boyfriend. Okay. There's so much here. So it's basically saying I get it. You want to feel empowered. You don't want to believe you're oppressed, because that would mean you are indeed a second-class citizen. You don't want to feel like it. I get it, but don't worry. I will walk for you. I will walk for your daughter and your daughter's daughter. And maybe you will still believe the world did not change. You believe you've always had the rights you have today, and that's okay, because women who actually care and support other women don't care what you think about them. They care about the future and the future of women who come after them. Open your eyes, open them wide, because I'm here to tell you, along with millions of other women, that you're not equal. Our equality is an illusion, a feel-good sleight of hand, a trick of the mind. I'm sorry to tell you, but you're not equal, and neither are your daughters. So that say thank you. Say thank you to the woman who gave you a voice. And yeah, again, part of my voice is I see the power, or I've seen the power of women. And when I worked in the sex store, part of it was for my book, studying Aphrodite, and so the power of women is, used to be a commercial, you tell two friends and I'll tell two friends and I'll tell two friends. So it just exploded. There was this craze of women reading this book, and it was wrong on so many levels. But unlike this one, where I think it was a woman in Hawaii said we should do this march in Washington, bang, it spread like wildfire. I think there was like some 673 locations around the world. If you go to womensmarch.com, you can read more of how many, like 4 million women plus marched. So it was really inspiring. But back to the other wildfire, it was like grandmother's reading this book, and that I made a whole course. I was making a course, and that just kind of happened to come in, and so parts of why I got so upset at that time came into this program that got created, Wise Women Setting Your Magic Free. So I saw in a year the difference of customers. So in the difference with so there was more older women coming in because it was more of a woman's, boutique, love shop, whatever, sex store. They were coming in more for like jade eggs and the balls and that, but the younger girls were coming more in for the S&M. So it was almost like it was showing that this is fine, this, because it was so popular. Then everyone's curiosity was going on, and so young girls who thought were just getting their first taste into their sexual lifestyle, and they're being subjected to pain, right? Like that's the way to for sexual stimulation. So they're coming in buying the paddles and the whips and the handcuffs, and I would be so upset. I'm going to share this teleseminar I did back then, Wise Women Setting Your Magic Free, because it was on like energy clearing of that punishing, degrading, oh. So people would say, yeah, like different strokes for different folks, like they're just experimenting that. But it upset me so much. And so, yeah, I didn't, and even like my rape and everything wasn't like a gang bang, and it wasn't that painful, but there was still no mercy when I was saying no, and it hurt. And again, the abandonment that came after, and from society, and being made to feel shameful, and my dad not talking to me for months, and just myself reading about it, like looking it up, and like in that store, I was reading more of the tantra books, so that that magical program does have sacred sexuality, bringing forth the goddess energy in all these aspects, and the magic. And so, yeah, I want to go back to my book for a minute. Bringing forth the goddess energy, like in golf courses. You know how hard that was? You know how hard, like I've stayed committed to bringing forth this energy, even though I've been asked to go to some like crazy places with it, right? So, the game of golf so ostracizes women. There's still some clubs probably women can't play in. The inequality is crazy there. And here I was planting the seed of, yoga and the divine feminine, because she's actually on the golf course in the symbolism of the game. But that just all got like written through me, right? So, you want to learn, a lot about the goddess, that book, because I journeyed how I did as well through Yoga for Golf. But, okay, what time do we have here? 20 minutes. Yeah, again, so I say that, Trump has been a blessing to help the return of the goddess. and toward my pain. I'm becoming more aware of where my wounds originated, and so as I'm sharing this, then I'm set free. But my shame has kept me silent. The shame wound is a woman's wound. So I went for years going through the witch wound, because again, as I was working that store, I was studying. It was like a self-study of how that even came about, the burnings of the witch and everything. So, I shed many tears for ancestors and then the young girls, and now for me and all women. And so, the wisdom, so through all the pain, I still come out, about playing. Play is the way for the higher dimension and the cosmic breath, which I'll share more about that. Staying in the childlike wonder. And bad being projected onto me. Okay, and the pride now of women all finally getting together, and like I say this in all sincerity, and you can see from my past videos that I get messages and then I pass them along. So you're getting to know me a bit more as I'm sharing about this program that's starting on Monday, January 30th. I thought I wanted it to, my time, not Divine's timing, right? It to start in September and then in November. But I moved September and then I moved in December. And, maybe it's the time to talk about the inequality, and I've been crying for days, so I don't know if I'll be crying now or not, because I just was on this hour and a half teleseminar that didn't happen. But I said I'd share about T and my former employer, and I was told not to even say his name again. And this energy worker also said that she was surprised I wasn't in the hospital for how much I got drained, like bankrupt, most of my energy, and not just like spiritually, but financially as well. And I'm not obligated to, keep any business secrets, because basically I'm not on the books. Guess I was paid under the table or whatever, because I can't go to the labor board because I wasn't on the books, so I didn't sign anything. There's no agreement, which was a big thing, to big lesson, one of the many lessons to walk away with. So it was not even the inequality of pay, but also what I was hired to do was 3 hours, Monday to Friday, and it's like some social media, some email. And then I ended up wearing so many hats, being like salesperson at first, and then office manager, and operations manager, creation, and then house mom. Like, thank goodness I had Sherry, because she was house mom as well. So cooking and cleaning and just being treated like crap. So his the big discrepancy is, he promotes that for women to make six figures doing what they love. So here I was working even harder, and he knew I had a business because I had interviewed him on the Awaken Magic Summit, and yeah, it's like I fought to still continue to show up, calling the Rainbow Warriors. Right here we are, like it's all been grassroots, gathering the goddesses, for so long, and just working on her behalf for so long. I was so tired. I was so tired. But anyways, I'm digressing here. So the month that I'm working my butt off for him, okay, and I'm asking to be compensated more for it, and someone who like I'm doing his accounting and everything too, so I see how much he makes, right? And the month that I work the hardest for him, so we'll just say he made that month alone over $25,000. Okay, and I'm asking for some more compensation than room and board, and a little bit of a little bit extra, because now I'm working all kinds of hours and on call, like whenever. Okay. So then, so I know how much she's making, right? And but I didn't know at the time how much VAs made. So I was doing virtual assistants until I went to Florida. Then I found out how much VAs made, and what I was doing, how much I should have been paid and worth. And I was told to go on welfare. To continue building his business when he's all about abundance for all and plenty for all, and help you with your prosperity, working like a dog, being degraded, and that just brought out a dream I have, that more people will value magic. Everyone will invest in money. I can show you how to make, go from welfare to $10,000 in 3 months. And you know what? It's like, I quit. I'm like, no, like that, like, was so shameful. But I'm like fighting for that shame. And he's saying, well, you're looking at it all wrong. It's free money. And I'm like going, no, you're looking at it all wrong. That's not free money. That's money for 38 years I've been paying into, my friends pay into, my kids pay into, for when someone like me, who now actually I am at a crossroads, I really do need it. And, the shame keeps me from asking my family for help. And so it's good I'm not like bawling my eyes out like I was, because, so just speaking it the first time around has helped. But I couldn't believe it. So, yeah, there's so many lessons. And then that brings me to, being being the tired grandmother. And so maybe that was the abandonment too, feeling abandoned, that I've been doing all this work, and anyways, so I'm having faith that with this timing to share that, there have been women already starting the Wise Women Setting Your Magic Free, and this invitation to rebirth again with us, because it's with the cosmic breathing that I've been giving as a gift. So if you don't know my story, that if you even probably my YouTube channel, Marguerite Brigham, on YouTube, and there's a playlist, the Cosmic Yoga Cosmic Breath, and then I've dubbed it the Love Breath. So that came about after giving a promise to my granddaughter when her heart became my heart. So I've been getting over the years that it's, like the children. So this connecting to the cosmos, and it's what brought the magic out. And, I can't, any part of the journey, I can't say, well, that was a waste of time. Like that was one thing that connected me to tea because in the front of my book, because I was a long distance grandmother, and that's why I made the promise, like I had to go back and finish this book, right? And I have, I wanted to make a nonprofit to connect elders and children because didn't get to see my granddaughter grow up except on Skype at first, right? The early years. And that was T's thing too, to help with the children. But the whole mission, like none of it was congruent. Like it was all just a big lie. And so, yeah, the disappointments last year and the delusion, and I'm sure that's on a global level what, people in the States feel with Trump coming in. Like to us in Canada, it was like watching a reality show. I mean, well, because he did have a reality show. So it was like, this is just a joke. It's not going to happen. It's not real. And wow, it's real. But it is helping bring the emergence of the goddess out even more. And it is the year of the rooster. So wake up and stay awake on the weekend, Chinese New Year. This was a great wake-up call. So I thought when this course got created from working in that sex store, and it wasn't just there, it was the cosmic breath that I've been giving as a gift, alongside as being, a yoga teacher and author and everything else. This has just been a gift. And so when that program got created, Wise Women Setting Your Magic Free, the foundation is the love breath. And so at the time in 2012, I thought this was a rebirth. But we're always rebirthing. That's the goddess cycle, birth, death, rebirth, right? So here we are again, rebirthing. And it's a whole new group of women, and the invitation is to bring more women, so I don't, not just so I don't have to go on welfare, but like that shame of being almost bankrupt. And I've never been bankrupt before. Like, is my surrender that? Do I have to go that deep? And it's like, no, I have products and services. I have the teleseminar series of 15 interviews. I have meditations. I have a book. Maybe the nonprofit can come through all these other ways, right? So yeah, I'm gonna go with the belief of the dream that I had. I have a lot of nighttime prophecy dreams. And so at the beginning of January, I had a sacred pause again because I was so emotionally bankrupt, our energy, our magical energy got sucked out. And he always wanted to do a video with the fairies, and it never worked out, right? Oh yeah, I'm a fairyologist too.